Yo, what is going on, you guys? So in this video, basically, I'm going to show you how to build a Spartan physique. A physique that's not only shredded, but is also functional, capable, is able to move. I believe that all of us as a child wants to be that strong, powerful man. We've always envisioned becoming like that courageous, powerful, strong guy, you know? And that's usually the reason why a lot of us get into the gym in the first place, right? Start working out and stuff like that. But I believe in order to really become powerful and strong, you have to be functional and capable. What's the point of being big if you walk around like you're immobile, stiff? You kind of walk around like you have a stick up your ass, like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to obtain not only strength, look good, be aesthetic, lean, shredded, but also functional, capable, can move, can sprint. And how do you turn this gym strength into athletic power? So I want to show you how I built a Spartan physique in 120 days using HIIT style weightlifting. If you follow me from Instagram, then you know that I lift fast, explosive, and that goes against what a lot of people believe in when it comes to weightlifting. They say it's dangerous, they say it's whatever. All I know is that it's worked for me like crazy, and it's helped me build a functional, shredded warrior like build. And I'm also going to teach you how to build an unbreakable mindset. A lot of people don't actually know what mindset means and how to apply your mindset to get better results. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Build speed, power, strength, explosiveness, and become shredded. Yeah, so like I said, when I was younger, the only thing that I wanted to be is just strong, powerful. I never wanted to feel weak, and I always felt like I had to prove myself. For some reason, there was just always this internal feeling, like this burning desire to be great and to not be like everyone else, not be just average, where I'm just in the gym, just being an average gym bro. I've always just had this inner flame that wants me to push further and further and further and be better and better and better. So it's like I had to prove myself at all times, and that is really what's led me to learning or obtaining this physique and aesthetics and athletics and all that good stuff. So when I was younger, the first thing that I figured out to make myself stronger was the gym. It was all about the gym. And YouTube wasn't really that big out like back when I was younger, and Instagram and all that stuff. So I never really looked up videos. There was YouTube, but I never really looked up videos on how to get bigger. What was the correct way to work out? How should I work out? I never watched anything like that. I never had no one to show me the correct way of working out. So I developed my own way of working out. Actually, when I was younger, I would watch a lot of anime shows. And basically what it taught me is just to work out hard. Every single day, work out hard, do a bunch of reps, nonstop, and that's how you get to your physique. A lot of anime shows taught me that, like Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and stuff like that. And I kind of just copied it. And it kind of only made sense to train like that. For some reason, there was just something that told me, okay, yeah, it makes sense that in order to get better results, you have to train hard. You got to train hard. So that's exactly what I did. And I ended up getting an insane physique by doing so. Insane physique. And, when you're working out alone, you have no one else to kind of go up against. So actually, when I was working out the first 6 years, I worked out in my garage, in my own home gym. And then when I actually got to the gym and I was looking around for the first time, I was looking around like, damn, nobody is actually working out. I don't see people, because I don't see people out of breath. I don't see people dying, sitting down because they need the rest. Like they worked out that hard to the point where they need to sit down, And I'm over here dying, gasping for air, sweating. And I'm over here looking like, damn, what's going on? And then, after years of being at the gym, what's crazy is I will still keep improving and progressing because I train hard, I train fast, I train explosive with compound lifts, with heavy weights. And I'll look around, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm improving, but why is it nobody else improving? Well, it makes sense because they're not working out hard enough, fast enough. They're working out slow, building on mind-muscle connection, focusing on that stuff. So basically, I worked out alone, and it made me super confused when I just looked around, and I finally got to the gym after years of working out alone. I look around, and nobody's working out hard, I guess that's one of the benefits of not looking up how to actually properly work out, is because it led me to something greater. And I'm natural, you know? But what's crazy about this is it didn't only work for me, it worked for all of my friends as well. I taught my friends the same kind of working out, and they obtained the same results. A lot of these guys are my best friends. This is David, and look, I mean, he looks crazy, right? This is Anthony. He looks insane. He looks aesthetic. He looks like an anime character. Same here. Same with me. Same with my boy Dylan. You know, and what's even crazier is Anthony. You know, he has the most shit nutrition. He has the worst nutrition plan. He doesn't count his protein. He eats a bunch of snacks. It's crazy. What's crazy is like he's still able to like get a crazy physique like this, even though he's not locked in with his nutrition. If he was super optimized with his nutrition, he would look probably better than all of us. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't. So it's whatever. But I'm just trying to say that like the training alone has gotten him to this level. You know, all of us, and we keep improving year after year after year after year. So yeah, and after 11 years, I've never felt stuck. I have never hit a wall, never hit a plateau. And you would think, right, that I'm natural. So you would think after 11 years of working out, at some point, you know, I would think to myself, at some point, I have to hit a genetic limit. And even when it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm starting to see slower progress, boom. Like I overcome that little wall, that little plateau, and I keep progressing forward and I keep getting better and better. So I just wanted to show you really quick, like my, I guess, timeline of how I've been working out from 2017. This is how it looked right here, 2017 and 2025. So I have decent genetics. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I have decent genetics. But 2017, I was already working out for like 4 or 5 years by myself, but I wasn't doing weight training. I was doing more so like calisthenics. And I didn't have access to a gym, so what I would do is I would have a backpack, and after school, because I was like maybe, I was younger right here, but when I was in school, I would put books on my backpack and just do bicep curls and stuff like that, to push-ups, to air squats or something like that, or like 200 sit-ups. So, you know, doing that for 4 or 5 years, I got a pretty decent physique. But I still understood one thing, and that's to always train hard till absolute failure, explosive, fast as hell. And it's gotten me a pretty decent physique. Now, if I would have never been introduced into the gym and applying that kind of HIIT style weightlifting to the gym, I would have never gotten to this point. So it took to the gym and HIIT style weightlifting to get to this point, because you're never plateauing. You're always getting to the next level. You're always pushing harder, and that's gonna make you get to the next level, right? But 2017 is when I first started going to the gym, and then 2018 is when I started applying the weightlifting, and you can already see a huge difference from 2017 to 2018. Now 2018, 2020, 2 years later, boom, I'm looking even crazier. And look at, this is my guy Dylan, right? And this is my boy Anthony. Look how crazy they look now. Look how crazy they look now. Dylan, Anthony. So it's like they're natural, but yet they still keep improving. You know what I'm saying? What I believe is it's a lot easier. Actually, what I know, it's a lot easier to build muscle when you're on steroids. So a lot of people, what I see people doing is they're looking up YouTube videos of how to get bigger, how to build more muscle. So they look up videos on YouTube, but they're copying from people who are taking steroids. They're copying the same slow workouts who are on steroids, when it's a lot easier to get bigger when they're on juice, but you're not going to get bigger like that because you don't have the juice. You don't have the enhancements. You got to work 10 times harder. We all accepted that fact, and we all understood that from early on, and that's why they look like this now, because they train hard. I train hard. All of us do. This is 2021 when we did our first bodybuilding show, natural. We learned how to cut. You know, we got super shredded. And a few years later, 2024, and a few years later, 2025. Now, what's crazy is back here, I didn't actually know how to use nutrition to my benefit to perform better and to look bigger, but also be shredded at the same time. 2025, I do now because I've been in the game long enough. I've done a few bodybuilding shows. I know nutrition now. I got degrees in nutrition, all that good stuff. So I know how to apply it now, right? I'm going to teach you all this stuff too, by the way, all this stuff in this video. But it's like now, 2025 versus 2021, this is I was preparing for a bodybuilding show. This is just my natural look walking around now. But the thing is I was drained here. I was on diet pills. I was cutting out water. I was cutting out sodium. I was cutting out carbs. I was only eating protein, only veggies. And, I was drained here. My performance was horrible in the gym. You can't maintain that. But now I walk around juiced. It looks like I'm on steroids. It's like I'm natural, but it looks like I'm on steroids. At the same time, I look just as lean, maybe not, maybe a little bit, but pretty much just as lean as this photo. In this photo, except I'm way stronger. I'm eating carbs. I'm going crazy with salt. I'm having a very nutritious diet. I'm not cutting anything out, and I look amazing. My performance in the gym is amazing. Look, a lot of people, they struggle getting results because they're cutting everything out. They're trying to get big. They're trying to get lean. And they're stuck with just that because they keep cutting out so many different foods. It's only hurting you. It's only hurting you. You have to eat a lot. But there's ways of doing that. Again, I'm going to teach you how to do that. But I wanted to show you 2017 to 2025. No matter what, I keep progressing no matter what. And I'm natural. And all of my guys too, they keep growing and I'm natural. Now, what I want to show you really quick is my boy Angelo, because Angelo doesn't have good genetics, but he still keeps improving no matter what. So I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to show you my friend Angelo because he has bad genetics, but I think it's important to show you a person with bad genetics. So even if you do have bad genetics, just know you can always get better. You can always get better. A lot of guys with bad genetics, right? They start blaming their genetics and they start saying, "Oh, well, the reason I can't get results is because I started off with bad genetics." And that's just a limiting mindset. That's a limiting belief. Because if you never would have blamed your genetics, you would have blamed it on the process. Maybe you're doing something wrong with nutrition. Maybe you're doing something wrong with training instead of automatically blaming your genetics. Let me show you my boy Angelo. So this is my guy Angelo, and this is already an outdated photo. But this is basically where he started, and he was really struggling with trying to get a better physique for years. He was struggling for years because he wasn't training in the right way. He wasn't training hard enough. He was doing the mind-muscle connection, the 3 sets of 12, all that bodybuilding stuff that they say that works, science-based working out. I understand, it's science-based, whatever. It's not going to make you look better and better and better every single year. Eventually, your body is just going to be like, "Oh, this shit's easy now. Working out like this is easy. Mind-muscle connection, 3 sets of 12, easy." You're never draining yourself. You're not going to complete exhaustion, fatiguing the muscle. So he started out like this, and then within just 2 years from this, he was struggling 2 years, looking the same, no change. 2 years later, again, looks like this after applying the correct way of training. This is my best friend, right? Looks amazing. And then, of course, you add a cut to that. And what's crazy is he is just as strong as in this photo when he was bulking, but now he's able to look a lot leaner. He's eating foods. He's eating steak. He's eating like potatoes and, burgers. And at the same time, it looks like this, stronger, performs just as well, leaner, looks way better. And this is an outdated photo. Now he looks even better. But, I'm making this video now, so I'm not going to show you it. But I'm just trying to prove a point so you can see that this is the way you should be training. And everyone talks shit on my Instagram. Everyone, "You shouldn't be training like that. It's not safe." Whatever. It gets results. It gets results. As long as your form is on point, it gets results. So back to the slides. I'm going to show you how to actually do this. But, okay. So this last year, so I've been making progress back to back to back to back. And when you're making progress for years on end, the more progress you make, the better you look. Your progress starts to slow down because you're starting to reach like those super top 1% elite levels. It's a lot harder to keep getting better and better and better. But what's crazy, even though that's true, what I just said, what's crazy is that just this last year, I've seen even more progress at a rate that's like if I'm like just barely started the gym. And the baby gains, the first year you make the most amount of muscle progress. It's like that started all over again. And I'm just making more and more progress fast. It's crazy. It's literally crazy, but it's because I've become fully optimized. Because I already learned training hard, all that good stuff. And now I've applied a lot more athletics, plyometrics into my lifting. It's only made me stronger and more explosive with my lifts and my physique. And it's also made me more aesthetic, which looks amazing. It's always good. But at the same time, I've optimized for nutrition. So I've been trying different ways of eating through the years, and I've found that a specific nutrition plan that looks very similar to what this looks like right here has helped me just with recovery, aesthetics, and performance. So all three aspects that's needed to be great and have an elite physique, nutrition has really put it to the next level. And the last one is mindset. When it comes to my style of training, and you're training hard, you're training to complete failure, a lot of the time it's easy to give up a little bit early. But when I started applying mindset to it, it allowed me to push harder than ever, to the point where after my sets, my muscles are literally burning for 3 to 5 minutes straight, because like I've gone that far, you know. And that might not be good. Who knows? We'll see. In due time, I'll probably look better. Who knows? That's how hard I'm training, you know, and applying my mindset only took my training to the next level. So it's like I'm adding all of these different things to make me have great workouts, great performance, great recovery. And it's like, how can you fail and how can you ever hit a plateau when you are fully optimized in your training, in your nutrition, and your mindset? You are not going to fail as a natural. If you are failing as a natural and for some reason you're hitting those plateaus, you're frustrated and you don't understand why you're not making progress, or you don't know whether to bulk or to cut and all this confusion, it's because one of these three things isn't aligned in what you're doing every single day. So let's talk about it though. What actually is mindset? Because you hear all the time, bro, lock in. Bro, the reason you're not getting better and stronger is because you have a weak mindset. But what the does that actually mean? What does that mean? You know I didn't actually know what it meant. So what is mindset? A lot of people say that it's like discipline, it's being consistent. But mindset is so much more than that. And I only figured that out. I actually figured it out by accident. Because when I was younger, I was super unconfident with myself. You know, when I was really young, I just felt weak all the time. I wanted to be strong. I felt super insecure and I was super unconfident. And it led me to figuring out how to obtain a stronger mindset. And by accident, I started applying the same techniques to my training, and it took my training to the next level. And that's why I look like this now walking around, instead of maybe, even this looks good, you guys. Even this looks great. And this is only 1 year. Instead of something like this, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, do you want to look like this and have a decent physique? You know, or do you want to look like a beast? Or if you have bad genetics, get better every single year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you what mindset actually is and how I use mindset to improve my training, how I use nutrition to improve my training. Mindset and nutrition together plus training is how you get that ultimate physique. So this video is going to benefit you if you crave getting into a flow state. Every single gym session where you have laser sharp focus that lets you crank out more explosive reps, push harder, that way you can maximize every single workout. If that's something you want to do, this is for you. When people are in the gym, what I've noticed, myself included, is they're either on their phones, even when they're just trying to choose a different song. They'll be on their phones and it gets them out of that flow. It gets them out of that rhythm of just pushing it, killing it in the gym. You know when you have a good workout, you know, but you get out of that flow. Or you're looking at girls, you're looking at some booty walk by or something. You know what I'm saying? Something's distracting you. Maybe you're out of focus and you're thinking about what you have to do later on today, or your girlfriend just broke up with you, so it's making you sad. Something's going on and it's taking you out of what you need to be doing in that present moment, which is working out. And you're always caught up in your head and it's distracting you. So I want to show you how to get into a flow state that we can be laser focused. And the only thing you're thinking about is getting the weight up, getting the weight up, getting the weight up. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to push harder, get more explosive reps in, probably do more sets because you're not allowing yourself to get out of that flow state and maximize every workout. That's what you want. Watch this video. If you're tired, if you're tired of the slow bodybuilder exercises that focus on mind-muscle connection to only end up being stiff and immobile and useless in the real world, this is for you. So I believe every man, they want to be that provider. They want to be that protector. You know what I'm saying? But how can you do that when all you do is lift gym weights? That's not actual real strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not able to move. You're walking around all stiff. You're going to pull a hamstring when you start to jog or sprint or even jump. And like, you're immobile. So if you're tired of the slow bodybuilder exercises that focus on that mind-muscle connection and you want to be tight, don't watch this video. But if you want to be agile, you want to be functional and at the same time strong and explosive, watch this. If you're ready to forge a warrior's body with HIIT weightlifting, blending heavy lifts with fast-paced cardio. So that way you're literally forcing your muscle fibers to rip. That way they come back stronger and bigger because you're putting it under these high intensive demands. This is for you. A lot of guys, they're in the gym and they're not really pushing as hard as they can be. And it's like when your body doesn't have a need to change, it's not going to change. And if you're doing the same workouts, you're not sweating. You're kind of giving a good effort, but you're not going crazy in the gym. You're not forcing those muscle fibers to rip every single rep. You're going ham. You're not going to change. Give your body a reason to change. So watch this if you want to learn how to apply HIIT weightlifting. If you're tired of not pushing your hardest in the gym and you're ready to learn how to use carbs to increase drive and energy, giving your body the sugar it needs to work out intensely instead of malnourishing the body, this is for you. A lot of guys, they hold back in nutrition. They cut things out. They cut out the carbs. They're scared of eating sugar. They want to get lean and bigger, but they're not giving their body the nutrients it needs to actually push harder. So what would happen to your workouts if you knew how to eat to have more focus and more energy to push harder in the gym to maximize every set? Now you combine that with flow state. Now you combine that with HIIT weightlifting. How are you going to fail? How are you ever going to fail with making progress on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis if you're layering all of these things together? Sorry, a car was going by, but you're not. You're not going to fail. So don't watch this video if your goal is just to be healthy and you're not ready to sacrifice to get to the next level physique and you believe that balance is key. This is not for you. This is not for you. If you tell me that your goal is just to get healthy, you don't need this. You don't need to watch this video. If your goal is just to get healthy, just go to the gym, eat good foods, you're at your goal. But if you're that guy who wants to constantly be improving and getting better every single day, not stopping for mediocrity, not giving yourself a chance to be comfortable, keep watching this video. The only time that I have gotten better results is when I have sacrificed something else that isn't good for me that's gotten me to the next level. So I used to be so here's just an example. I used to be lifting the way that I lifted and drinking every weekend, and that has still gotten me better and better results. But eventually my progress started slowing down a little bit, and it made me realize I have to cut out alcohol for life. I drink here and there, but not on a weekly basis. I had to start cutting out alcohol and sacrifice that for good to make me maintain my new level. Because when I cut out the alcohol, it made me get to the next level. And then the only way that I'll be able to maintain that next level is if I keep cutting out the alcohol. You see a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll hop on something like keto for 3 months, but they don't make that a lifestyle. And that's the reason why when they do eventually start introducing carbs back into their diet, they look like normal again. So if you want to keep getting to that next level, you can't have balance. You have to keep sacrificing more and more things to keep climbing those ranks. This is just reality. This is literally reality. So it's like, if you just want to be healthy, don't watch this video. You're not going to get any use of it. Don't watch this video if you believe that putting in those 4 sets of 10 on the leg press that barely cause any strain on the body is going to give you elite level results. Not for you. You're doing 4 sets of 10, not draining the body, using easy workouts like the leg press, the cable machines, the back rows, machine rows. You're not going to get results. The shoulder little things where you're kind of sitting in a chair and you're doing those little shoulder things, the machine. Bro, if you want to keep sticking to that, you're not going to get elite level results. Don't watch this if you're not ready to build the energetic layers necessary to have a heart racing, drenched in sweat, gasping for air workouts every time. You guys, I just got done finishing a massive upper body chest day, drop sets, complete hypertrophy, 3-minute workout sets where I'm just going back to back to back. Heart is racing. I'm drenched in sweat. And then after that, we went to the hills in 90-degree weather to do incline hill sprints back to back. So that takes a lot of energy. And like I said, when you have all this energy because you're layering all these things together, that's the energy you need to work out that hard. So if you're not ready to build those energetic layers, for whatever the reason, maybe you just have a closed off mind, don't watch this. And then don't watch this if you're just looking for the easy way to get abs. The people that look up easiest way to get a 6-pack, how to get a 6-pack without tracking macros, how to do this, how to get bigger without working out 5 days a week. Don't watch this. This is for people who already know that it takes hard work to get to the next level. So yeah. So let's start getting into it. So here's the truth that nobody is going to tell you. Nutrition isn't 80%. Training is about 80%. You know how everyone's just saying, oh, the reason you're not making progress, the reason why you can't get shredded is because your nutrition isn't on like point? It's like they give all the credit to nutrition when that's not the case. Nutrition is a support system for your training. Of course, nutrition is going to help you maybe get in a calorie deficit, a slight calorie deficit, which, by the way, a calorie deficit through nutrition only works for about a month before you start hitting a plateau and you can't lose any more fat. Anyone who's done a real calorie deficit the right way knows that a calorie deficit through nutrition won't work long term. Nutrition isn't 80%. That's BS, guys. It's BS. It's a support system. So you want to use your nutrition as a way to benefit your training routine. A lot of people, they'll train and they won't use nutrition as their support system. So they'll cut out the carbs, they'll cut out the salt, the water, they'll cut out all these different things and their training goes to shit. And it's crazy because what training will do is it's going to give you exponential results. So if you have a nutrition plan that supports your training, it's giving you the energy you need to work out hard every single day. You're giving the body all the nutrients it needs. You're going to perform harder in the gym. You're going to recover better and therefore perform harder in the gym. And the crazy thing about training is training is not going to give you those instant results where you do something today and you look way better tomorrow. That's what nutrition usually does. That's why people say 80%, because people want fast results. What training actually does is it gives you the results that you want, the actual transformation that you want. That's what training gives you, but it takes time to do that. And it gives you exponential results. Now, since training gives you exponential results and it takes time, here's the thing though. People will do mind-muscle connection for years and it doesn't give you as many benefits as if you were doing HIIT-style weightlifting. HIIT-style weightlifting over time will give you so many more benefits and it obliterates mind-muscle connection. Now you add nutrition plan that supports your HIIT-style weightlifting, more energy, less fatigue, and you're going hard in the gym. Over time, that's how you're going to never, ever stop making progress in the gym. Because HIIT-style weightlifting, when you're working out hard, heavy, explosive, fast, it's increasing your metabolic rate, so your metabolism boosts. You're burning fat way faster just from sitting down. At the same time, you are stressing out the muscle and the body to a whole nother level. And it's that stress that creates progress. So like that over time is just how you're really going to start getting the results that you want. Faster metabolism, you're getting leaner. Your body is adapting to a different way because you're stressing it so much. You're giving your body a reason to change. And you do that every single day over time. That's how you get that transformation. That is what gives you the transformation. Not the nutrition, not the mind-muscle connection, maybe a little bit over 10 years, but 10 years of doing HIIT-style weightlifting over mind-muscle connection, your body's going to change 10x. I'm guaranteeing you 10x. Why? Because it's worked for myself and all of my friends and all of my clients. So the thing is you have to outwork your plateaus. You have to train harder. How do you get to the next level? What can you do to put your body under more stress, more pressure, to train harder, to outwork your plateaus? Progress comes from stress, added stress to the body. You want to shock your nervous system. Sometimes I'll be working out and I'll be finishing my workout and my body will be shaking because I just put it through fucking hell, basically, and I'll kind of just be shaking. That's how hard I train. Now, if you don't have a good nutrition plan that supports that kind of training, it's going to make sense why you crash, why you plateau, why you're not doing good in the gym, why you're not banging out the reps necessary to make your muscles bigger. You got to have a good nutrition plan. You got to work out hard. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm just giving you the context you need to give you an understanding so that way you can actually start applying this stuff. So, time under tension is bullshit. Bullshit. Any functional, strong fighter, farmer, NFL star, track star, even animals, they use fast-paced exercises. And that's what's gotten them to just become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. When you see an NFL star, they're not doing the mind-muscle connection reps. They're training for fast explosion. And if you want to become that functional beast that is strong, explosive, athletic, functional, aesthetic, you're going to have to train hard. All the track stars I know, they're huge. they're muscular, they're ripped, but they're able to run fast. NFL stars are the same way. Even farmers, you think farmers are sitting there like trying to, like, you know how strong farmers are? You know, they don't look big because they're not doing bodybuilding, weightlifting, but like they're just moving shit all day, moving shit all day. They're not going to sit here and try to move it slow. They're going to try to get those haystacks off the ground. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a farmer, but I'm just trying to give you a few examples. Fighters as well. Of course, fighters, you train differently. You're not doing as much weights, but I'm trying to teach you how to have a physique that is shredded, aesthetic as hell, muscular, and athletic. And there's a certain way of doing that. But it's basically absorbing load and then releasing load as fast as possible. When you see a track star, they are trying to force load into the ground to push forward to win a race, but at the same time, pick their feet right back up, absorb the load and pick it right back up to take another step, you know? So it's that kind of training that I use in my weightlifting. When I'm doing my reps in the gym, when I am doing my reps inside of the gym and on Instagram, if you've seen my Instagram, go watch my Instagram as well. But when you see, I am lifting fast as hell. I'm boom, 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 boom. And a lot of people will say that I'm not controlling the weight. Oh, you're not creating that tension that the muscle needs in order to lift. But what they don't realize is I am doing it at such a fast rate that it looks like I'm not controlling the weight. I'm doing it at such fast rate because I've mastered my form. And I'm just used to training like this over the years that I'm doing it at such a fast rate, but it's just faster, you know, but they don't see it. But I'm actually absorbing load and then releasing it. Like regular bodybuilding, absorbing it, pressing, but it's just at a faster rate, creating more explosive muscle, fast twitch muscle, explosion, power, speed. You're going to build muscle like crazy like that. So I'm absorbing it, boom, pressing, boom, except I'm, fast. That probably looked funny as hell, but you know what I'm saying. So basically, I need to show you how to get into a flow state. It's going to make your workouts better. I want to show you how I periodized functionality versus aesthetics because sometimes it can be hard to do both, build a lot of muscle, get lean, and become athletic. That can be hard. So a lot of the time what you got to do is you got to put that into phases where you're building muscle for a few months and maybe you lose your fat there and then you do an athletic phase after that. So that's where you want to do. I'll show you more into that, but I'll show you. But I want to show you the correct way to use HIIT style weightlifting to never hit a wall again and keep breaking past personal physique barriers and how to use your mindset to enhance your physique, to train harder. So that's what I'm going to show you right now. But really quick, I want to show you my story just so you just have I want you guys to have all this information before we get into the good juicy stuff. We're going to do this real quick. So I felt weak all my life, super weak. That led me to building, learning about weightlifting. I got shredded, I got built, yada. But I still had low confidence, and I was wondering, why do I have low confidence still? I look amazing, but I still have low confidence. And that led me to kind of just learning about more athletic stuff because, like, I hated sports. I was never an athlete. I've never been an athlete, by the way. I've never been athletic. I've never been an athlete. But my style of weightlifting has led me to transition to better functionality when it comes to being athletic, jumping higher, sprinting faster, becoming more explosive. So I hated weightlifting, but since I always felt weak and I wanted to become that man, it drew me closer to athletes because they had like that warrior that I was looking for. They were able to sprint. They were able to push, explode, be powerful, but at the same time, they looked good. They obtained that warrior physique, and that attracted me. So accidentally, I found that my style of lifting made it an easy transition to be functional. So when I started actually practicing more athletic work, more functionality work, I realized, holy shit, the way that I've been lifting makes it super easy for that gym power to turn into athletic power. And then you can kind of just like use both at the same time, and they kind of leverage off each other and benefit off each other to improve both aspects. And then because I was confident, I was still unconfident with myself. No matter what I did physically, no matter what I achieved, I was still unconfident with myself. And it led me to learning how to obtain a stronger mindset, which helped my training as well. So basically, what I call this whole method on how I get better results is the Uzuri Method. And it's a system that I built for myself to finally become confident and capable After all the trial and error, I fixed it with this method. So I was not confident for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? I was capable, but I wasn't confident. I walked around getting drunk all the time, trying to become confident, but I never actually had it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I believe a strong man has a strong mindset. They have full conviction with themselves. They have full confidence within themselves. But at the same time, they are capable. So they have conviction, belief, confidence, but they're also capable. You know, they can perform. They're strong. They can take off. And I believe once you have both of those two, a strong mind and a strong body, you're the ultimate man. So this is me unconfident, getting drunk, not as disciplined. You know, I have muscle here, but I wasn't the man yet. You know, I wasn't that man that I was looking to be this whole time. And then now, look, I'm happier. I'm so much happier. I'm finally confident. I can finally enjoy my body. I can finally be confident in the way that I look and feel. I'm just so much happier now. So much happier. So right now, I'm going to show you the exact process from A to Z of what I did to accomplish these results. So that way, you too can build the ultimate warrior physique. So, the Uzuri Method. I know you guys have been waiting. So the Zuri Method, brain and body optimization in depth. So there's 5 steps to it. Meditation work, have an open mind, because I'm telling you right now, this will not only help your physique, get in flow state, have stronger mental strength when you're pushing hard in the gym, but this will help you in every single aspect in life. Because I believe when you are the man, in order to be the man, you need to have the best opportunities in succeeding in life. You know, but it takes you to be the man to be able to do that. So it's going to show you how to be great in everything. Mental work, nutrition and habits, physical work, and then recovery. These are the 5 steps of the Uzuri Method in order to have the most insane, heart racing, gasping for air kind of workout to get an insane physique. So, yeah, let's get into it. Meditation work. So, have an open mind, you guys. And this is not that spiritual woo-woo monk kind of stuff. You want to think of it more like, kind of like brain hypnosis, almost. So like I said, you guys, I was extremely unconfident within myself. So I had to learn to find inner confidence from within using meditation work. Now, the thing is this has helped me so much more in the gym, because when I was unconfident, a lot of the time, I doubted everything that I did. I doubted the way that I shook someone's hand. You know, am I shaking his hand right? Should I shake it harder? Should I not shake it as hard? Should I look in his eye? Should I look mean? Am I looking too long in the eye? And I doubted everything. I doubted the way that I walked. I doubted the way that I talked. I doubted my own personality. And when that would happen, it would make me hold back and be hesitant sometimes in the gym. You know, in life, of course, and achieving other things in life, 100%, but in the gym as well. Because I'll be in the gym, going hard as hell in the gym, and I'll start like getting anxious because people would be looking at me like, what's this guy doing? Why is he working out like that? This guy's crazy. And it would make me feel some type of way. And it would prevent me from going hard in the gym because I felt like I was doing too much. So what release work does is when I'm meditating, I release all those negative emotions, the doubt, the limiting beliefs, the lack of self-worth, the low confidence. And when you release all of those things, it makes you feel so much more confident. And when you have more confidence, this is where the good part kicks in. When you have more confidence, you have better workouts. Have you guys ever had a haircut? You just got a haircut and you're going to the gym after and you feel good as hell, you're feeling handsome, and you just have a great workout? Imagine if you were able to feel that every single day, because you don't have doubt no more. You don't have insecurities no more. You don't doubt yourself. You have full confidence, full conviction in yourself. You have like that high vibration attitude, that gratitude. You're motivated. That's what release work does. So that's why I do it. And the way that I do that is when I'm meditating, I'll just imagine whatever those negative emotions are like I'm feeling. And what I'll do is I'll imagine how that negative emotion makes me feel. And I'll breathe it out. And I'll imagine the negative emotions coming out of my body. And then after you do that for about like 3-4 weeks of doing it consistently every single day, you'll notice like, damn, I don't have no more negative emotions. And then as a byproduct, it makes you feel way more confident and way more motivated. Now, the next one is goal imagination. So goal imagination is so important for 2 different reasons. Number one is a lot of us don't actually believe that we can get to that next level because we've never been there before. So by imagining you're actually there in your mind and imagining it, like how it feels, how it makes you feel being that shredded, what it would be like to be able to run super fast and jump high. When you imagine that every single day, it makes you have that conviction and belief that you need in order to give it your all, instead of hesitating and holding back because you don't actually believe you can get there. Now, that's the first part. The second part is when you're actually lifting something super heavy. Let's say you set a goal for yourself. Actually, let me give you one of my examples. The other day, I was benching 315 on the incline press. And usually what I would do before I learned about all this mindset stuff is I would be like, oh, I don't know if I can hit this. I'm scared to hit it. You know, I'd be in my head. And what that does is it makes you hesitant, hold back, so you don't actually perform as well as you can be. But if you imagine you got this, you know, you imagine that you hit that goal, you bench that 315 pounds. This is what I'm imagining. I bench that 315 pounds. I'm going to do it. And you actually can get yourself to really believe it. That takes a little bit of work to do. You really believe it. It makes you give it your full power. So that way the 315 fucking skyrockets fast. So before, when I did it, I was on creatine. This is like last year. I was on creatine. I was eating a lot more. And I really struggled hitting that 315. It was a struggle, and I almost pulled a muscle. But now I'm not on creatine. I'm eating less, and boom, because I had that belief in myself, that weight flew. But it's crazy because when you get that weight up that fast and you're using your muscles in the full way that you should be, instead of holding back, you're going to build more muscle. And then the last one is getting in the present moment. When you release all the negative emotions, and you're able to clear your mind, you're going to get in the present moment. And sometimes that leads into a flow state. So when you're in the present moment, it's all about clearing your head. So when I'm meditating, I have a few different ways of meditating. Sometimes it's about releasing the negative emotions. Sometimes just learning to keep a clear mind. And I'll do that for like 15 minutes about. But by doing so, sometimes, you know, first of all, you get in the present moment, you're clearing your head, you feel good, you're already a lot focused, but there's like levels to this meditation stuff and mindset stuff. So you can be present, but then you can get in flow state. And when you're in flow state, you are just on a whole nother level. If you ever been playing video games and you kind of forgot about the whole world and you're just locked in and you're doing all the right moves, you're performing well, you're not messing up, imagine that, but in the gym. So there's levels to it. I can't explain what it feels like, but it feels like you are naturally high. It feels like you're on drugs, but naturally, and except you're pushing in the gym. So it's great. That's meditation work. Next one is mental work. So, and we're going to get to the good stuff like the nutrition and training, but I'm telling you right now, this has taken my workouts to a whole nother level. So the second one, mental work, you have to be pushing past mental barriers. So one thing that's stopping you from getting to an insane physique is you have those mental barriers that's telling you to stop. I want to stop. My muscles hurt. I'm tired. I'm gasping for air. I want to stop. But your ability to clear the mind, these things work together. Your ability to clear the mind when you're working out is crucial for you being able to push past those mental barriers. So the other day, I was doing those hill sprints. And, you know, I'm already used to doing hill sprints in 100-degree weather, you know, incline, sprinting, 100 yards. But, you know, it's all about pushing past your limits. That's what I'm talking. This is the whole concept that I'm trying to get across. Pushing past normal limits that you're used to. Always being uncomfortable. That's what's gotten me to the next level over and over and over again. So I was like, I need to run up this hill. This is my thought. Not rest, run down, run up this hill and run down again. I've never done that before. Now, as I was doing it, first one, breeze. I was drained, but it was a breeze. I'm walking down. I'm already tired. I kind of don't want to do it anymore. And then I walk. I take off for my second sprint. And this second sprint, by the time I get about like 50 yards in, I want to quit bad. You know, I want to quit bad. My glutes are already burning. They're on fire. And I'm gasping for air. I feel like passing out. I'm getting goosebumps because like I'm having heat stroke probably. And that's probably not good. But I'm like, okay, this is a point where I need to clear my mind. So you clear the mind. You don't think about anything. You just keep taking action. And if you can get that, you'll be able to finish your set and push harder than before. And I was able to do it. And it was amazing. And I feel good after. That's one area. Learn how to clear your mind. Now, the second area is doing stuff that you hate. I should have taken out until you love it, but doing stuff that you hate. Basically doing stuff that you hate. So what this will do is this will give you a courageous confidence. And I'm showing you all these things because it's all about layering all of these things together. The nutrition, the mindset, the mental work. And what this does will take your mindset and like way of feeling to a whole nother level, to where you're pushing harder than you've ever done before. It's all about layering all these things together. It's optimization. At the end of the day, you've probably already been disciplined with the gym. Discipline is easy. You probably love going to the gym. But how do you optimize every single aspect to get your body to the next level naturally, as a natural? So that way you look like you're on steroids, but you're natural. To the point where everyone in the gym is asking you, how did you get to that level? Everyone's inspired by you. You're inspiring people. You're not only strong yourself, confident yourself, but you're inspiring the people that you love around you. You know what I'm saying? So doing stuff that you hate will give you a courageous confidence. So when I was unconfident with myself, I took up boxing because I thought to myself, maybe if I get my ass beat, enough times and hard enough, I'll be confident, because I was scared of fighting. And what do you know? When I would get my ass beat and I started fighting, it released this courageous confidence with myself where I would just walk around like a fucking asshole. I just felt good. I felt great. And it was because I did something that I hated. I did something that I was scared of. And it gives you that courageous confidence. So when you have that courageous confidence and you're pairing that up with the getting into flow state, you're able to clear your mindset. When you're doing hard workouts, you're just really pushing it to the next level, you guys. Pushing it to the next level. So do something that you hate. This is something that I hated as well. I had a great physique, and it led me to getting, girls, they see it, they like it. So, but I was scared of doing it. When they're looking at me, I'm like, oh, I would get anxious. Where should I look? Should I look at them? Should I act like a tough guy and, try to impress them? Should I just be I didn't know what to do. And what I found is when I started doing more of this, eventually I started to love it, and it started to get a lot easier, and it gave me this courageous confidence. So it made my boxing better. It made my training better. So do stuff that you hate. Last one is skills and learning. At the end of the day, if you don't know what you're doing in the gym, you don't know what workouts to choose, you don't know what to do, you're going to be in your head and you're not going to train as hard. It's just simple. You're going to be distracted. What should I do? Looking up YouTube videos on what to do. Then you start getting cooled down. You're not warmed up anymore. You're not going to train as hard. You might pull a muscle even. So learning something new every single day is crucial. And actually, by learning something every day, that's what taught me. I actually use a lot of lessons that I learned from podcasts. This is a podcast, a mindset podcast. I read books. I learn something new every single day in the morning. It leads me to learning how to take my workouts to the next level, because a lot of these self-improvement books that I read helps me further improve myself as a man and helps me get to the next level fitness-wise, athletic-wise. So learning something new every single day, whether it's self-improvement, mindset, or just nutrition and training in general, is important. It's important. That's all there is. Next one is nutrition, work, and habits. Okay, so this is where we get into the nutrition stuff, right? I know this is a long video, but if it's worth it to you to get to that next level, this should be no problem. This should be interesting as hell to you. This would be interesting as hell to me. And if you can't watch this, bro, don't even watch the rest of this video, because, you're just not that guy. Lock back in. If you're starting to get unfocused, lock back in. Lock back in. Lock back in right now. Stop going on your phone. Lock in. The next one is macros. Everyone's confused about macros. I'm going to break it down super simple for you. Obviously, if you want to build muscle, you got to eat more calories. But you want to lose fat, less calories, but don't rely on a calorie deficit through nutrition. But macros will change your either performance or overall health. So I'll increase carbs. So protein stays the same pretty much the whole time. 1 gram protein. 1 pound of body weight, 1 gram of protein, But carbs and fats, what should you do with that? If you want to increase performance, you want to be performing better in the gym, increase carbs, have more carbs. If you want to feel healthier in the gym, and those times where you should take a week off the gym because you're just hurting, you're aching, you're not having good workouts, you need to chill out for a while, that's when you will want to increase the fats, because this is like hormone replenishment. getting your body back to equilibrium so it's healthy again, because too much damage to the body can be bad. So that's the difference. Fats for getting back to health, carbs for killing it in the gym and destroying your body. So that's about it. Oh, so the next one is animal diet though. What I found is that animal-based diet plus potatoes is the best way of eating in order to recover better, not feel tired after the gym, because let's be honest, working out hard every single day like that is so taxing on the body. And more than likely, if you're trying to get to the next level in the gym, you are a high achiever, you're trying to do great things, you're trying to build money, you're trying to build an empire, whatever, you're a high achiever, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to achieve other things when you're so drained in the gym. So an animal-based diet plus potatoes will leave you more energized for the gym, but have more energy. That way you're not so drained after the gym and do whatever you want. So animal-based diet, any kind of protein that's from whole food animal sources, steak, chicken, lamb, eggs, what did I miss it? Fish, and then fruit, any kind of fruit you want, whatever, any kind of fruit. And then dairy products, cheese. Yeah, basically it. Honey, that's cool too. I'll add protein shakes when I need protein. That's like the only thing that I'll like have as supplements, creatine sometimes too. And then potatoes. I add potatoes. Potatoes aren't part of the animal-based diet, but I found sometimes you just need those extra carbs to replenish, and potatoes are very low calorie, very high in nutrients. So potatoes. Now, what I want to show you is how do you use nutrition and carbs to get a better workout though, right? So fasted carbs is what I call it. And basically what you want to do is you want to not eat in the morning, because that will increase focus, and then have something like just maybe some honey to skyrocket your blood sugar so you have that focus, but you also don't feel like shit in the gym. And that's what's going to help you have better workouts. Because a lot of the time when you eat before the workout, it makes you feel just like drained, like lethargic, tired. No one wants to feel like that. The next one is sunlight, sleep, and water. Very essential to get your sunlight in. Sleep 7 to 9 hours. If you don't, your hormones are going to be bad. Your metabolism is going to be shot. You're not going to recover. You're not going to perform well in gym. Water, same thing. Gallon of water. You should be drinking that every single day. And then obviously cutting out vices like alcohol is going to do wonders. Even 2-3 shots or 1 or 2 drinks is going to affect your gains. Your joints are going to be hurting more lifting heavyweight in the gym, especially with HIIT styled weightlifting. You do not want to be drinking. It's hard, and it can be unsafe if you don't have enough water, or you're dehydrated from the alcohol, or you have a bunch of bad stuff in your body. You don't want to be drinking alcohol. Cut it out. Next one is physical work. So how do you actually use HIIT style weightlifting correctly? It is dangerous. It can be dangerous if you don't do it correctly. So that's why the first thing that I learned is how to get insane form. Form correction is essential. Record yourself, learn great form, because if you have great form, it is going to allow you to push harder. It's going to feel more comfortable to push harder and faster. A lot of people can't push hard or fast because their form is just a little bit off, and it doesn't allow them to push explosively without hurting themselves. So if you don't want to hurt yourselves, you want to push harder and faster, your form has to be on point. That's with anything. Sprinting. I used to pull my hamstring all the time with sprinting until I learned form, and now I can sprint as fast as I want without tearing a muscle. Same thing with bench. I can do 315 pounds as fast as I want on the incline without hurting myself because my form is on point. You obviously want to do HIIT style weightlifting. You obviously want to do, I would say, maybe 1 day of athletic training. You see, it's all about prioritization. If you want to prioritize HIIT weightlifting because you need to build more muscle, you want to do 5 days of weightlifting and then 1 day athletic training. If you already have enough muscle, 5 days athletic training, 1 or 2 days weightlifting. But I think the best way of doing this is periodization. What a lot of people do is they'll try to force results. They'll try to force getting results really fast. So they'll go on a cut, they'll go on a bulk for a week or 2 and then switch. Oh, what am I doing? Should I do this? Should I do that? And they never get results. What I found gets the best results is if you stay in a phase where you're strictly building muscle, and then staying in that phase for maybe 6 months to a year before you even try to cut, before you even try to add athletics. Because periodization and prioritization, you're going to build a muscle a lot faster going to the gym 4 or 5 weeks, HIIT style weightlifting, building muscle, rather than wasting some of that energy on athletics. So it's better to do like periodize yourself, set it up in phases, building for a phase first. Then maybe it's a little cut phase with building. Then maybe it's adding athletics in there, and that's how you build that ultimate physique. It takes time, and you're going to get to your physique a lot faster if you periodize rather than trying to do this all at once. And then the last one is just recovery. We're getting towards the end of the video. Stick with me. Last one is recovery. 2 days rest, physical. That's best. You want to give your days 2 days in a row where you just rest. Don't do anything. Enjoy life. Go out. Go take an active rest day. Like this is just 1 mile, little hike, nothing crazy. Just going to the beach, relaxing, having a good time. I'm playing Minecraft right here. You know what I'm saying? Give your body and mind that time to rest. How many times have you just burnt yourself out because you try to work out too hard? You try to go every single day because you can't stand taking a rest day. It's boring taking a rest day. But let's be real. When you don't take rest days, your whole next week will be trash of workouts. Your goal isn't discipline no more. If you're watching this video and you've been going to the gym 1 or 2 years, your goal isn't discipline no more. You shouldn't be going to the gym every single day no more. Your goal is optimization. The reason you're not getting progress is because you're focused on discipline when you should be focused on optimization. Have those rest days. You can have those active rest days. If you really feel like you got to do something, take a walk. That's what I do. So this is something that I used with myself, because it's hard to remember all of these different things, right? So I made like a little thing, like a little tracking sheet that I use every single day to help me just do all this stuff every single day. It's called the Uzuri Method Progress Tracker. Basically, I do my meditation in the morning, and I pair that up with my mental work where I read something every single day. So meditation, 10 minutes, mental work, 10 minutes, learn something new every single day. The next thing that I'll do is I'll go to the gym right after. So I'll handle my personal development stuff all in the morning and then work on my life stuff after that, like my job, career, all that good stuff, relationships, spending time with family. But personal development is important. You got to do it every single day. So mindset, meditation, first thing I do in the morning. Get my mind right. Get it prepared. Release negative emotions. Be set. Get in the flow state. Clear my mind. It helps me attack the day with a strong mind instead of a weak mind. Because how many times are you starting the day with a weak, unprepared, unproductive mind? So that's why I do that. Next thing that I do is I do my physical work. I go to the gym, and I test my mental strength. That's the most important part. So I hit with style weight lift. I do my work. But at least one time in the gym session, I am trying to push my mind harder than ever. Because here's the thing. If you can strengthen, and I do this by keeping a clear mind. Keep a clear mind. Do your physical work and try to push yourself harder than you've ever done before by just clearing the mind. Don't think of anything. Don't let those thoughts of I need to stop get in the way of you pushing yourself. Keep a clear mind. That's how you test your mental strength. Now, the crazy thing is this will also help you in daily life, because if you learn how to keep a calm mind in these stressful situations where you need to breathe, you want to stop because your muscles are hurting so bad, you need to breathe. If you can keep a calm mind during those situations, you can keep a calm mind during anything. How many times in life have you had to do something that would make your life progress further? Maybe this is quitting your 9 to 5. Maybe this is, a presentation at work or school, but you got nervous because you were so in your head. Learn how to keep a clear mind. That's how you test it every single day, and it's going to help your life in general. And I do a willingness task. So what I would do, and I was so scared of talking to people because I was so unconfident. I actually had social anxiety. It was so lame. I got over it. What I would do to give me that courageous motivation is at the gym, I would talk to one person, and it would get me out of my head. Give me that courageous motivation. At the same time, I pair that up with my mindset, becoming confident, get into a flow state, HIIT style weightlifting, and it would make my workouts insane. So courageous, do something you hate. Maybe it's boxing. Do something you just fear. Do something you fear. I'm telling you, it helps. And then the last one is just make sure you follow nutrition. At the end of the day, I follow the 80-20 rule. It's a lot harder to stick with something every single day for the rest of your life eating whole foods. Sometimes I eat that honey bun. I eat that cereal bowl. I don't do it often, but I do it sometimes. It gets that craving out. It prevents me from binge eating, so I do my nutrition work. But again, remember, if you want to get to that next level, taking it 100%, if you can do that for the rest of your life, that is going to get you to that next level and maintain that next level like we talked about earlier. So you don't have to do all these things every single day. I do because it's made me my strongest. And again, it's all about becoming your strongest version of yourself. Strong, capable, functional, strong mind, confident, testing your mental strength, HIIT style weightlifting. That's what's gotten me to a great physique. And this is how I've optimized myself to getting there. So do it every single day. I mean, why not? Why not? You become stronger. These are just a few quotes I wrote down talking about self-improvement. Do I want to talk about this? Basically what I'm saying is like you can't have a strong mind without a strong body, and you can't have a strong body without a strong mind. Like, just to kind of really quick without going too much into this, what I've always thought about and kind of dealt with is like I've always had a capable body, but since my mindset was weak, I would always hesitate and always not put in my full force. So I would always get my ass beat in boxing because I wasn't using my energy. Or let's say a robber, like try to rob your family. You know what I'm saying? And you might be capable, but since you have a weak mindset, you're not willing to just take action and take flight and go after him. Or let's say you have a strong mindset, you're confident in the world. You go after him, but you're not capable. You're not fast. You're not strong. You literally can't do anything. So I believe a strong man has both. And that's how you have just the most optimized, most confident, best life. And these are just a few clients I've changed. Janet, Nina, Armando, Vanessa, David. He also was one of my clients. Best friend, but became one of my clients. Angela, same thing. Esteban, Haleen, Gio, and Josh. And if you want to read this, it's just how great it makes you feel when you actually take action and you're doing something to strengthen yourself up. But that's about it. I do have one more thing for you guys. Basically, now that you guys have a full understanding of how the process works, I have an offer for you. So if you're a disciplined gym bro, but you feel like you're not progressing, but you want to take your mindset and physique to that elite level, always progressing, never hitting a wall, never hitting a plateau, always getting stronger as a natural, and maybe sometimes you struggle with confidence issues, but you're ready to have complete inner and outer confidence, meaning that you are fully capable because you have a strong, athletic, functional body, but full confidence, you have a strong mind. You want that. That's inner and outer confidence. You have a strong mind. You have full conviction. You are fully confident within yourself, full belief to do anything. You have a strong body. If you want that to have that kind of feeling, way of being in every situation that you're in, no matter if it's at the gym, no matter if it's in life, whatever it is, and you want to know exactly how to build that warrior physique that's shredded and also functional, like the exact workouts, the exact set ranges, all that good stuff, I want to show you how to become the ultimate man and build an unstoppable, confident mindset and a shredded body, explosive warrior in 90 to 120 days. So if that's you, click the link below. It's going to give you access to hop on a phone call with me where we can actually discuss where you're messing up at. Where is it you're messing up at? Is it your mindset? Is it your nutrition plan? Is it your training? How do you push harder in the gym? Are you struggling with that? If that's you and you want to really understand on a deep level how to get to this level, you are unstoppable. You are that man you've always dreamt of being. If that's who you want to become, but you might be a little confused on how to do so because this is a lot, click the link below. We'll figure it out. We'll get you on a game plan. We'll get you moving forward. That's it for this video. I hope this helped. And watch this video again. Do something, Later.